Then that restless traveler said to his own heart, "You see, what does restless mean here? It means he doesn't just stop at one level in his spiritual journey of knowing God. He's constantly reflecting, reading the book of the universe, journeying through its different realms. He's always on the move, spiritually speaking. He never says, okay, I've reached this stage, I know God enough now, this is good for me. No, he keeps going, pushing to reach even higher levels. So this restless traveler said to his own heart, the fact that believers, especially those on a spiritual path, constantly repeat La ilaha illallah, there is no God but God, remembering and declaring his oneness, shows that there are many, many levels to this oneness. This declaration of oneness is the most important, the sweetest, and the highest of sacred duties. It's a natural obligation and an act of worship rooted in faith. So come on, let's open another door in this place of instruction to find another level. Because the true oneness we're looking for isn't just some abstract idea, a piece of knowledge you can simply imagine. It's what logic calls conviction, something far more valuable than conceptual knowledge. It's the confirmation that comes from solid proof. True oneness is a judgment, a conviction, an acceptance so profound that you can find your Lord in anything and see a path to your Creator in everything. Nothing can become a barrier between you and His presence. Otherwise, you'd constantly have to tear through the veil of the universe just to find your Lord. So, saying, onward then, he knocked on the door of grandeur and majesty. He entered the realm of God's actions and works, the world of creation and invention. And he saw that five encompassing truths dominate the universe, proving God's oneness with absolute clarity. Let's go back and unpack that. The restless traveler said to his own heart, think of someone like Sheikh Abd al-Qadir al-Gailani. He was a spiritual genius who could witness the great throne while still on earth. He spent 90 years advancing spiritually, experiencing the truths of faith, not just with the certainty of knowledge, but with the certainty of sight, and even the certainty of truth. If a man like that, along with hundreds of thousands of others who seek the truth, progressed for 90 years without stopping, it means there's always more road ahead for us. If he couldn't finish the journey in 90 years, then we certainly can't think we've reached the end. We have to keep moving. And those levels of certainty, knowledge, sight, and truth, you can think of them like this. Certainty of knowledge is for the mind. Certainty of sight is when you see with your heart what you understand with your mind. And certainty of truth is when you feel those meanings with your very soul. And within each of those levels, there are countless more stages. The text also calls him a traveler or a guest. This is a reminder not to put off our spiritual duties of reflection. We're just guests here. If we were permanent residents, we could say, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow or the next day. But we're guests and we have no idea when we'll have to leave. Death could come at any moment, so we can't afford to procrastinate. We need to turn to this duty every chance we get. Now, about repeating, there is no God but God. Why do people do it constantly? Think about it. You only repeat something if you get a benefit from it. We eat every single day, don't we? It's a repeated action. If we didn't get any nourishment from it, we'd stop. It's the same with this declaration. For believers to repeat it constantly means they are drawing new meaning and fresh benefit from it each and every time. That's what allows them to continue. It's like us reading the RİSALE-İ Nur. If we stopped benefiting from it, we wouldn't be able to keep reading. The fact that we continue shows we're getting something from it, and each benefit gives us the enthusiasm to continue. That's why he says oneness is the most important, sweetest, and highest sacred duty. It's a natural obligation. a form of worship through faith. Look, animals can see the trees, the creation all around us. We see it too. But our real job isn't just to see the surface, it's to see the reality behind it all. What truth are these things pointing to? Our real mission is to look at this universe and ask, what is the reality behind it? Who created it? How? Why? That's why affirming his oneness is our highest duty. It's sacred because we're contemplating a truth that belongs to God himself. It's a natural obligation because our very nature was created for this purpose. And it's worship through faith. Praying and fasting are acts of worship, yes. But to reflect on the one you are worshipping, that is the worship of the mind, the intellect, the heart. The text says, the true oneness we seek isn't just an abstract idea. I remember in Quran class as a kid, they had us memorize God's attributes: life, knowledge, hearing, sight, power. We learned the list. But true knowledge of God isn't about memorizing a list. It's about conviction based on proof. It's like if I told you, this guy is incredibly strong. Just imagine how strong. How much can you really picture? But if I show you, look, he lifted this, he built that. Now you have evidence. It becomes tangible. When someone says, God is all-wise, what can you really imagine? But when you look at the human body, at the unbelievable wisdom in how the heart works, a fist-sized pump that circulates blood, speeds up, slows down, perfectly meeting the body's needs, then you're not just imagining wisdom, you're witnessing it. When you see the wisdom in things, you confirm his name, the all-wise. When you see the activity in the universe, you confirm his name, the all-powerful. This is conviction born from proof. True oneness is a conviction so deep that you can find your Lord in everything. You see a path to your Creator in all things, and nothing stands in your way. We read about God as the self-subsisting sustainer. Once you grasp that, you realize things don't hold each other up. Everything is upheld directly by him. For example, why is this building standing? You'd probably say the pillars. Okay, what holds up the pillars? The rebar inside. You see, we get stuck on the immediate cause and can't see God behind it. We should be able to say, God is holding this building up, but we see the pillar. Then we attribute the pillar's strength to concrete and steel. We lose sight of the real source. We look at an apple and think tree. We look at the tree and think seed and soil. We keep tracing it back, and only when we run out of physical causes do we say, God. But we should be able to see him right away, in everything. The apple is perfectly portioned for our mouths. Its taste is perfect for our tongue. Its vitamins are perfect for our needs. Does the tree know any of this? Can the tree's nature explain why an orange is segmented? Of course not. When you really think about it, the immediate cause can't be the true cause. The true cause of everything is God. He just creates things in a sequence, so we think one thing is causing the next. Once you see that, you start to see God directly behind everything. You can find your Lord in anything, and nothing becomes a veil. Otherwise, you'd always have to be tearing away the veil of the universe to find him. So saying onward, the traveler knocks on the door of grandeur and majesty. He enters the realm of God's actions and works, the world of creation and invention, and sees 5 truths that pervade the universe, proving his oneness. The first is the reality of grandeur and majesty. Think about it. A single being who creates and commands stars that are thousands of years apart, all at the same instant, in the same way. The stars look like tiny lights to us, but even a medium-sized one, like our sun, is one, 3 million times bigger than our entire planet. And science tells us the observable universe is 13, 7 billion light years across, a power that creates on this unimaginable scale, and not just creates, but sustains. The sun has been burning for billions of years. He's not just creating, but actively managing every single particle in every single star. Then he brings your focus down to the earth. That same being creates countless individual flowers of the same species, all at the same time, across the entire globe, east, west, north, and south. He's managing the galaxies, and at the same instant, designing the petals on a flower. And just as he creates spring before our very eyes every year, bringing hundreds of thousands of plant and animal species to life from a dead winter in just a few weeks, all with perfect order, without any confusion or mistakes. He uses this visible event to prove the unseen creation of the universe in the past and to prove the resurrection in the future. I was just somewhere today where there were hundreds of baby goats, maybe 300 or 500 of them, all just a month or two old. Each one had eyes, ears, bones, fur. They were all brought into being, their bodies perfectly constructed. That's a small-scale model of the great resurrection. They were all there, goats as goats, sheep as sheep, no confusion, nothing missing, everything in perfect balance. The same being who turns the globe to create the pages of night and day, and who writes the events of each day on those pages, at that very same moment, knows the most secret thoughts passing through every heart. He knows what you desire, what you prayed for yesterday. All these acts are really one single, continuous act of creation. So the doer must be one. It's clear that the one who does all this has such grandeur and majesty that there is absolutely no room, no possibility, no way for a partner to exist. A power that is so absolute, so perfect, so all-encompassing. How could it possibly tolerate weakness, need, or limitation from a partner? No sane mind, whose nature hasn't been corrupted, could accept such a thing. That's why associating partners with God is such an unthinkable crime. It's an attack on his grandeur, an insult to his majesty. And that is why the Quran delivers that tremendous warning. Indeed, God does not forgive associating partners with him, but he forgives whatever is less than that for whomever he wills.